Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Won Dharma Center Sunday online service. Today, we will study one of the items of mindfulness in our daily practice. Probably you can see on the screen. Let me read that. Once you return from temple, reflect on whether or not you had an awakening or had a special doubt clarified, and be mindful without fail to actively utilize what you learned in your daily life. According to our founding master, Sotaesan's word, his criteria, which is living practice or religion, which is the religion or practice, is very simple. The practice or religion that's separate from our daily life is, according to his word, is the dead religion. So, what is the essence of our daily practice? He said, mindfulness is the core of our daily practice. He suggested 6 items of mindfulness in our daily activity and 6 items of mindfulness regarding temple visit. So this is one of the items regarding temple visit. In Korea, there is a saying, his ears are Buddha, but his action, his body is a beginning practitioner. It means he attended the temple service and studied Dharma for a long time. So his ears are Buddha. What does that mean? That means he knows a lot, but actually he don't put into action what he learned. That means his action is in the stage of a beginning practitioner. Think about that. You can look at yourself or people around yourself in the Won Dharma Center Sangha or some other temple. They have practiced or attended service for a long time, but their life is not that much changed. They don't lead the life or practice of joy, contentment. Sometimes they become more judgmental or boss around to the beginning practitioner, etc. Why, to some people, this kind of a thing happens? It is because they have attended the service for a long time, so they learn a lot, but they don't actually apply that in their actual life. So they are in the same level in their practice and their life. When you come to the temple, when you actually physically come to the Won Dharma Center or a local temple, or you can join online service, probably whether all the minister or lay person's Dharma talk is what you already know, truthfully speaking. If you attended the service for more than 2 years, many times it's the same Dharma talk with different stories. So the point of joining the Sangha Dharma session is not necessarily learning the Dharma. The point or direction is when you learn the Dharma, when you read the scripture or listen to the Dharma talk, you can reflect what you hear or read on your actual practice in the life. That is the direction and the fruit or the meaning of the joining the Dharma service. At the end of the retreat session, Sotaesan, our founding master, said the same story all the time. So some of his students thought, wow, this time he said the same Dharma, the same story again. And actually, in the middle of the talk, some students left the meditation hall. But our second head Dharma master, Venerable Dosung, said, even though he heard the same thing repeatedly, it's always very new and fresh. Our third head Dharma master is a greatly realized person. So, what is our mindset or attitude when you read the scripture or listen to the Dharma talk? Reflect our practice and the life. That is the direction. Unexamined life is not worth living. Do you know who said that? It's not some spiritual teacher. Socrates said, unexamined life is not worth living. How could we very easily, skillfully, efficiently utilize the Dharma to enrich our life? One of the techniques is you can take time and reflect or review what you read, what you listened. That's why this item of mindfulness says, reflect on whether or not you had an awakening or had a specific doubt clarified. It's just like when we study in school. One of the very skillful way to study very well is after studying the class, during the break, even though it's a very short time, you can review what you learned is a very, very efficient way to study very well. Very long time ago, when I was in Korea, the head Dharma master, Venerable Dosung, gave a Dharma talk in Yongsan, the birthplace of our founding master. At the time, lots of our members in Seoul Meditation Center went to Yongsan. After the service, I happened to be in the same vehicle with my teacher. And inside the vehicle, going to the Seoul, it takes at the time like 4 hours. I asked a couple of things to my teacher. But my teacher told me, well, today we listened to Venerable Dosung's Dharma talks. So why don't we have some quiet moment until we reach Seoul? So actually he contemplated what he heard. So that was very impressive to me at that time. So I would like to repeat, listening to the Dharma talk, the fruit is not learning or knowing the Dharma. It's to apply that in our actual life. That's why this passage, 반드시 실생활에 활용을, 반드시 is translated without fail, must. Our founding master in the principal book of Won Buddhist, he rarely used this kind of expression. Without fail. I heard from one Buddhist minister one story. He used to work in the Iksan, Won Buddhist temple in Korea. The member was one of the founder of Iksan, Won Buddhist temple. He was during our second, probably founding master or second head of Dharma master's time, he came to know Won Buddhism and become the Won Buddhist member. And he was very rich landlord, having lots of tenants and employees in his house. One day, he regularly joined the temple service and learned what he needed to correct his deeds. So he decided himself, I should be far more generous and forgiving to my tenants. Sometimes he was very strict. He kept that in his mind. I needed to put that into action. One night, he heard some strange sound in his house. It appeared to come from the storage space. In older days, their residence and the storage space was pretty far. When he went inside the storage space, he saw there was one young man, a thief, who tried to steal one big bag of rice. And he appeared to plan for a long time. Actually, he brought the A-frame to move them easily. He was struggling to put the bag of rice on his back, but it's too heavy. He was struggling. The landlord, in secret, approached to his bag from behind. He helped to lift the rice bag. And the thief got so surprised. He started to tremble. But the landlord said, I think this is very difficult time for you. Don't look back. If you turn around and if you see my face and I see you, then you may be a little embarrassed. And when we encountered in the market or in the village, how embarrassing it would be. So take this rice back. And he helped. And that thief just left. 2 years later, a Korean war broke out in 1950. North Korean army very quickly occupied to the middle of the South Korea, the Korean peninsula. So Iksan was occupied by North Korean soldiers. And the town became under the socialist idea. So there were held a people's court. It's a really improvised kangaroo court, the truth is. In the people's court, all the landlord, rich people, high-ranking government officials was tried in the court. When that landlord stood in the court, but many people were executed, sentenced to death, there was one man appearing, and he very vehemently defended that landlord. Actually, he's a rich person. He was very good to his tenants, etc. And he saved his life. So that young man was that thief who stole that rice bag on that night. Learning the Dharma does not change our life. It is the beginning stage of changing our life. In order to actually change our life and the destiny, and we need to put that into action in our daily life. So our founding master said in that passage, without fail, be mindful to reflect what you learned and to apply that, utilize that in your daily life. So the point is, it's easy to say, but it's not always easy to actualize what we already learned. But the point is, we need to make effort to repeatedly to put that into action without giving up. Our founding master's analogy, when we wear clothes, after some time, it becomes dirty. But from that stage, we let go of our caution. But in that case, from that stage, our clothes start to become dirty on a fuller scale. When I heard from one medical doctor, when a bone is broken, then when it's connected and all the parts of the bone got healed completely, unlike our common sense, that broken part becomes far stronger than other part. So you may have the habit of procrastination or whatever things in some area, but especially some bad habits are hard to break. So the point is do not give up and try to apply what you learn to change our practice and life. When our third head Dharma master was alive, when some minister or lay person asked something and need a piece of advice, then Venerable Dosung usually didn't say in a serious way, like let's go outside, let's have a walk, and in a very casual and informal way, he provided a piece of advice. But most of the minister knows, even though he replied that in a casual manner, that's a very important thing that he needed to practice. But our founding master said, this is items of mindfulness. What does that mean? It is something we needed to put that into practice. So read the Won Buddhism canon and what is 6 items of mindfulness in our daily life, and what is 6 items of mindfulness regarding temple visit. So contemplate that, let's try to actualize in our daily practice. Thank you.